What's up, travel fans? It's me, Morgan, from the very unofficial travel guides, and this week it's a Royal Caribbean versus Norwegian Cruise Line SmackDown. SmackDown! Royal Caribbean and NCL are two of the giants of the cruise industry. And just like Disneyland and Disney World, they're very similar, yet sort of different, yet kind of the same, yet actually totally different. If you've watched a lot of my other videos, you know I'm a pretty big fan of Royal Caribbean. I've cruised on 4 of their ships, the Mariner, Monarch, Legend, and Navigator, and we recently did our first transatlantic cruise on the Norwegian Epic. So you can see I'm kind of like one-sided, but if you consider that the Epic cruise was 12 days long, which is kind of like the length of 2 normal cruises, I think I got a pretty good idea of what it means to cruise like a Norwegian. Let's get started! SmackDown! Royal Caribbean has 22 ships out at sea as of today and are planning a handful more in the next coming years. The smallest of the Royal fleet is the Legend and Splendor of the Seas with a capacity of about 1,800 passengers. Royal also currently holds the record for the largest passenger ships in the world, with the Oasis and Allure, which both have a maximum capacity of around 6,000 passengers. Whoa. Norwegian only has 13 ships, but also with a wide variety of sizes. The smallest in the Norwegian fleet is the Norwegian Spirit with about 2,000 passengers, and the largest in the Norwegian fleet is the Norwegian Epic with a passenger capacity of about 4,000 guests. NCL also prides themselves on having one of the youngest fleets at sea, meaning all their ships are very new or newly renovated. But if we're going to go on just number and pure size of ships, then Royal Caribbean would definitely win the point on this one. SmackDown! This is kind of going to be an easy one because they both basically go to the same places. Royal Caribbean has its own private island called Coco Cay, and right next door to that is the Norwegian Cruise Line's private island called Great Stirrup Cay. One maybe slight advantage that Royal has is they also have a private beach and fun area on the coast of Haiti called Labadee. But if you want to visit Bermuda or Hawaii, then NCL is definitely a better pick. Norwegian Cruise Lines has the most attractive Bermuda itineraries with some double overnights on the island, so it's basically like getting a cruise and a beach vacation all in one. Oh, that sounds so good right now. Also, NCL has the only American flagship, which has dedicated Hawaiian island hopping cruises that nobody else even comes close to. So, I don't know, let's say NCL gets a half a point for that, which gives them a slight advantage when it comes to destinations. SmackDown! Alright, now we're getting to the meat and potatoes of this SmackDown. Get it? Norwegian Cruise Lines is famous for its freestyle dining concept, which offers a large variety of complimentary and upcharge restaurants and basically no set dining times and no reason to get dressed up unless you really want to. You want to have dinner in the Irish pub wearing shorts? No problem. You want to get all dressed up and go have steak and lobster while listening to live jazz music? No problem. And all that basically whenever you want with no need to reserve in advance. Royal Caribbean has a different dining system on all their ships except for the brand new Quantum of the Seas, where they've basically copied the Norwegian concept. So ignoring the Quantum of the Seas and talking about the other ships the way it is today in December of 2014, Royal Caribbean has a more structured dining concept with a complimentary buffet, a complimentary main dining room, and then 2 or 3 upcharge restaurants on all their fleet. Breakfast and lunch is pretty relaxed on Royal Caribbean with most people eating in the buffet, but dinner is where you really start to notice the difference. On Norwegian, there's a handful of complimentary options, a whole bunch of upcharge restaurants, and you can basically go whenever you want. On Royal, you can go to the buffet for dinner and basically go whenever you want and don't really need to worry about what you're wearing. But anywhere else you go for dinner, you're going to need to get dressed up and either have a reservation or stick to your set dining time. Also, unless you're lucky enough to get accepted for the so-called My Time Dining package, on Royal Caribbean you can pretty much bet that you're going to be sitting with a table full of strangers. Some people like that because it's a very old-time cruise tradition, but I have to say I would much rather just sit with the people I'm cruising with. It's not because I'm unfriendly, I just think like, you know, if I'm going out to eat back on land, nobody would expect you to sit at a table with 8 strangers and create small talk, so I don't know why I have to do that on a ship. And like I said, that's how it is on most Royal Caribbean ships as of now. But they've already sort of announced that they're going to be rolling out this new dining concept on their other ships in 2015, so let's see what happens. Okay, to sum it up, Royal Caribbean offers a few less options but a more traditional cruise dining experience. But be ready to get dressed up every night and stick to a strict regimen of reservations or set dining times unless you want to eat in the buffet for dinner, which is what we usually do. Norwegian offers more options, both complimentary and upcharge, and the possibility to eat with just your friends in the buffet or a restaurant at any time you want, wearing whatever you want. And if you agree with me that the actual quality of the food is the same on both, then I don't know why anybody would prefer the Royal Caribbean system over the Norwegian system. Honestly, if you're one of those people, then explain it to me in the comments below because I don't really get it. I know a lot of people aren't going to agree with me on this one, but I definitely give the point to Norwegian for the dining experience. SmackDown! This is a kind of tricky one because, you know, whereas some people like water slides and rock climbing walls, other people like seminars and wine tastings. So I'm just going to look at it from my personal perspective and you'll learn something too. I'll start by telling you the things that you'll find on both. And these aren't things that are on every ship, but just on most of them. And I'm going to have to read it off of my computer screen, which is over here because there are just so many. Both Royal and Norwegian offer mini golf courses, rock climbing walls, indoor and outdoor pools, spas, video arcades, and name brand shows like Cats, Mamma Mia, and Blue Man Group. Remember, not on every ship, but on most. Now let's talk about the things that you'll only find on some of the Royal Caribbean ships and not on any of the Norwegian ships. Flow rider surfing machines, zip lines, robotic bartenders, bumper cars, diving shows, a circus school, a gigantic observation arm, an iFly skydiving simulator, and indoor ice arenas with ice skating and Holiday on Ice style live shows. Flipping the tables over now to things you'll only find on Norwegian ships and one major plus point. Water parks. Norwegian Cruise Lines is famous for its onboard water activities, including giant water slides to help you cool off in the Caribbean sun. I know it sounds hard to believe, but there is not one major water slide in the entire fleet of 22 ships from Royal Caribbean. And that's another thing I just don't understand. I know if you're doing like an Alaskan or a Northern European cruise, you're not going to be sliding any water slides, but still, it's just such a typical fun vacation activity for me, especially for younger people, and I really don't understand why Royal Caribbean doesn't build any water slides. Royal definitely has a wider spectrum of things to do, and with the Quantum class now, they've brought so many innovations and things that have never been on ships before. But Norwegian has the water slides, and that's something that's important to me. So for me, the point goes to Norwegian Cruise Lines, and I guess that means that I prefer Norwegian over Royal Caribbean, which is actually really surprising to me, but when you break it down like this, they get more points. I don't know. I like them both, and at the end of the day, I guess, you know, a bad day on a cruise ship is still better than a good day at work, so I'll just leave it at that. Do you agree with me on any of this? Let me know in the comments below and please give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel for more videos just like this one and destination related videos like these. And if you do Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, you can find me there too. I'm Morgan from the very unofficial travel guides. Bon voyage!